49ers versus the G-Men. More from us next. So what up, Ted?
Not much, Mr. Ryan. How are you today, this fine Thursday?
A lot going on. I haven't stopped moving since, I don't know, 4:45 this morning.
Shoo, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a pretty crazy week. My wife
Yes, you are.
gave birth to our second son on Monday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. About 5:28 p.m. And so we have two healthy, happy boys now in the Ted H6 family. So I'm just, excited to be here. She gave me the afternoon off. She's still in the hospital. She gets out tomorrow. But I popped out yesterday for a little bit. I got to do the Wednesday show with Aaron. Actually, I even got to do a show with Rod Calley in the morning. And I'm excited to do a show with you. So thanks for having me. And thanks for listening. It was going to be trouble for me to get it all set up. So
the sexy toe-eyed cabbages. I love it. Shout out to James for showing up. We got third string All-Pro Ted. Oh, put some respect on Purdy's name. You've been hating on him for no reason. Oh, God.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Third string. I mean, I don't know how many more times I can say it. I don't hate Purdy. I like Purdy a lot. I root for Purdy. I just hate the hyperbole around Purdy. I hate people comparing him to Montana, to Brady, to Josh Allen, especially Patrick frickin' Mahomes. But, do you call me a hater or whatever. I don't care.
I wouldn't really worry about it. Obviously, they're not based in logic, because to have concerns about something doesn't mean that you hate somebody.
No.
Like, I didn't like Jimmy G's quarterback play. Do I hate Jimmy G personally? Not at all. I don't know. Everybody that knows him seems to really like him. He's always been nice to, like, Grant Cohn. Really nice to Grant Cohn. And Grant Cohn said some horrible shit at times about him. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't want my quarterback to be a Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't mind my quarterback being a Brock Purdy. I like the fact that we've got somebody who can run the system like he does. And it seems like he does stuff that more savvy and older vet quarterbacks do. And he's just right out of the draft, pretty much, 1 year removed from the draft. So there's lots of things that, and Ted, are you arguing with me with any of this?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, I'm rooting for Purdy. I'm saying that he doesn't look like his 2022 self, but I think he will at some point this season. He's only, 6 months, and it was a week on the, Sunday for the Rams. So still less than 6 months and 2 weeks out from his surgery on March 10th of 2023 on to get the UCL repair plus internal brace. So I have every reason to believe that his arm will improve and that his skill set will improve. I'm just saying it's not guaranteed, and I'll wait till I see it before I say it. But I just don't think he's top 10 yet. But I mean, a lot of his stats are, and he's getting a lot of these lists. I saw a list where they had him at number 3 as of week 2. No, third quarterback in the NFL, Brock Purdy, and they had Jordan Love as the 4th. And then they had Stafford 17, Trevor Lawrence 12, and Lamar 11. I'm like, what do you guys? This is the cry for help, is the way I.
Stafford has been playing exceptionally well.
Stafford's good. He's a hell of a quarterback. So,
but I mean, like, he's been making great decisions. You know what I mean? With what he has, he's been making great decisions.
Yeah, I mean, look at what he's got. He's got Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua. And he tore us to shreds with those guys for the whole first half on Sunday.
Not to say anything bad about those guys, but they aren't the guys who've been in the league for a while and know everything. They're just coming in, doing a great job at what they've been asked to do. It's not like you could just put them in anything. They're, you know, an 8-year vet. They can go out and succeed anywhere right now. You know what I mean?
It's definitely not Cooper Kupp, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
no doubt about it. But yeah, I mean, you know, I've been saying that, you know, Purdy is the best value of any quarterback in the NFL. And then I'm taking a step further and saying maybe the best value in all of professional sports. So, I mean, there's a lot to love about Purdy. And I've released some shorts about this. If you go through and look at my shorts on YouTube, there's a lot of them are like, you know, they're good stuff about Purdy. So I just want to see him, you know, attempt and complete more deep balls, pause. And I just want to, you know, I'd just like to see him be able to throw with a little more zip into tight windows and a little more zip off platform. But there's a ton to like. I mean, the guy is a mental giant. There was Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football was saying that he is basically AI, that he's not human. He's so smart the way he makes his decisions. I've been saying for a long time, Purdy is a mental giant. I love the decisions he makes, the leadership that he exudes. The you know, it's much more fun to watch him than Jimmy G. It's much less, you know, nerve wracking. You know, you just feel like things are going to go well with Purdy as far as the decisions, as far as the execution. You know, I would like to see him have a physical trait that's elite besides quickness, but we don't always get what we want, and that doesn't keep him from being very good. He could be great. He could be elite. He could be whatever superlative you want to lay on it. He could get there. I just think it's very difficult given his physical limitations. But I'd love to see, you know, I'd love to see us do it. I mean, I want to win a Super Bowl. He's our best shot. We got to keep him healthy. I think we got to keep our weapons healthy. And speaking of which, Brandon Ayuk, I think, has been officially, not as officially, but Adam Schefter said that Ayuk was probably not going to play tonight. So,
James is just saying what I think we understand his limitations. You know what I mean? We're not crowning him a king. Now, he could well be our dude. You know what I mean? And it looks like he is, you know, going to be one way or another. But it seems like he'll definitely fill that role as long as he, you know, nothing happens to him along the way, right? That's what I'm seeing. It's just because he's always better the next week. You know what I mean? He seems like he does better. I think he had a worse. I think he had a tougher outing this last game, like what he was up against. I think the Rams really were giving us more of a front than Packers or the Steelers were. So I kind of say I like what he showed us this last game, because to me it was like he's ready to go even in those tougher games when things aren't just going our way. You know what I mean? Like he's still got it. He can. They know him more than any other team in the league, essentially. You know, the Rams. Well, they're going to. Sorry, maybe they don't.
No, they do. McVay knows Kyle, and Kyle knows McVay. Absolutely.
Well, I'm talking about like Purdy, but you know, as a division game.
Yeah, that's the first time the Rams have played Brock Purdy. Jimmy G swept the Rams last year.
Right.
He's swept them every year since 2019, essentially. So
I
think Mullins got one in there in 2020.
There's no sense in crowning a king until he's got his crown. You know what I mean? And the crown is that ring. It's that chip, that number 6. So if he wants to be king, he better go out and get that.
Yeah. And I've been pretty vocal about that. Like the only way that, you know, the whole thing that happened with our other QB, who I'm going to try not to mention his name anymore, will make sense is if we win a ring. And that's especially for Kyle. I mean, I don't want Purdy to catch strays from me or collateral damage from me that's really aimed at Kyle. So, you know, Kyle has to win the Super Bowl this year. Purdy, if he plays really well, if Purdy balls out, if he's going 300 yards and 4 TDs, stuff that we haven't really seen from him other than maybe the Seahawks game and the wild card, you know, if he's putting up big numbers and somehow, you know, we have injuries or something fluky happens and we don't win the Super Bowl, I'm not going to hold that against Purdy. Okay. And if we do win the Super Bowl and Purdy contributes maybe a little more than Jimmy G, which is, I think, expectable, then I'm getting a Purdy jersey. If we win number 6 this year and Purdy has, it does a teeny bit more than Jimmy G did for us, you will see me with a number 13 jersey streaming next season or this offseason even. Steve Young might have to take a little bit of a back seat.
To me, Purdy and Kyle's future are entangled. So Kyle needs to win a Super Bowl to essentially keep his job, right? Soon. To me, you're going to make, like this, you better figure it out. Purdy, if he wants to put a lot of this stuff, not necessarily with me, but if he wants to put a lot of this stuff to rest, the quickest path is through number 6 to put it all to bed. You'll have people who are on the fence will just be like, fuck it, he's my man. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care. What's that? A trophy is hoisted. Nobody gives a shit about anything anymore. Fuck it, life's good, especially us fans. We're gonna be sitting here, man. We're gonna be a natural buzz. You know what I mean? That's the natural buzz that goes through you when you win those games. I remember, I felt like it was all cool. Like, man, you have a bad day, it doesn't matter. We won the Super Bowl this year. You know what I mean? I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm just going to take another crack at the day. Everything's going to be fine. You know what I mean? So I think one way or another, I also think that their destinies are entwined.
Because absolutely. Kyle is tied to Purdy and Purdy is tied to Kyle now.
How many other coaches can make Brock Purdy like mentioned in the top 3 of the quarterbacks so far this year? You know what I mean? They got Brock Purdy to look like to be a superstar. I think needs to have the system, because look at what he does so well. He's very decisive. Why is he decisive? Because he sees something, he knows exactly what he's looking at the moment he sees it. So he's either able to nix it, move on, or he's able to figure out where he needs to set up that pass to. You know what I mean? That's what makes him so great. He can look at it and immediately realize if it's a go or a no-go. And he's pretty good on the yes or the no. You know what I mean? Like throwing it. Now, sometimes he's got to make a play. And those are the ones I don't like grade. But like first and second down, when there's no money on the line, essentially, it's not, third down. Those decisions that he makes, he's making some of the best decisions out there. So like I said, I don't count necessarily third downs against him, essentially, because you have to make a play, right? So whether it's a good one or not, it might be the only thing you got. If you take another look, this might be your third progression. If you go to look at number 4 and it's no good, this one's probably sunk. So you might as well just take this one now. You know what I mean? Also, it's getting late in the down. You might have a pass rusher you don't know about creeping up on you. So it probably helps to get the ball out. So I think he makes great decisions, and to have be in another system where everything isn't like, not to say that he couldn't do well. I just don't think he would be what people are talking about, like getting into the rank, talked about as being the top 3. That's just, I don't think that happens in another system.
Oh, maybe especially because the other system doesn't have Debo, doesn't have CMC, doesn't have Kittle, doesn't have Ayuk. No Ayuk tonight, but I'm excited hopefully to see some Ronnie Bell. I saw Jeff Deeney was saying that Bell took most of Ayuk's reps in practice this week. Yeah. Sorry?
I should drive to the casino.
Bell the Bull, baby.
You know what the odds are for Ronnie Bell to score a touchdown?
No.
Oh, last Sunday it was plus 2,000.
I'm sure it's changed by now, Ryan. I'm sure a lot of money's coming in on that.
Yes, it has changed by now, but it's probably not, plus 113. You know what I mean? Get it on a parlay.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Well, bottom line is, Jeff Deeney tweeted it out, but I tweeted it out about 20 minutes before when the Adam Schefter news broke. I said, basically it said that Ayuk was unlikely to play tonight, and I said good, let him rest. I said good, let Ayuk heal up till week 5 versus Cowboys, or at least 10 days till Cards week 4. Time for some Ronnie the Bull Bell, or I call him, Bell the Bull, the Bell of the Bull. But yeah, and then I saw Jeff Deeney tweet about 20 minutes afterwards saying that, Bell had gotten Ayuk's reps this week, and so huge opportunity for him. I was like, yeah, got in ahead of that, felt good. So we'll see. I think we'll see quite a bit of Ronnie Bell. I think we'll see some Ray, of course. Ray filled in for Debo when he was out. I don't know how well he fills in for Ayuk. It might just be that Bell's the better match for that. And then we also pulled up Chris Conley off the practice squad to be active tonight. So we might see some Chris Conley, who was one of my camp stars. I'd say Ayuk was the biggest star in camp. Kinlaw was number 2. Conley might have been my 3rd biggest star in camp. He did really, really well, and well enough that I thought he might make the 53-man roster. So,
shout out to Kinlaw for being decent lately.
Decent, yeah, he's playing really well. He's playing almost as well
for him. He's playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he's playing almost as well as Armstead and Javon Hargrave, right? I mean, so that's as far as pressures go, anyway. Obviously, Hargrave has the sack, but
what I like to see is it seems like he's taken more responsibility in the run game. Not that they're like, hey, we're Javon, we need you to. It seems like he's trying to show that, damn it, I could stop this damn run. I'm a beast. You know what I mean? And that's what I like to see in defensive linemen, especially interior linemen, because you are that big guy. You're supposed to be that wrecker. You know what I mean? Just because you got a guy next to you getting paid tens of millions of dollars, or more than you, almost by double, kind of. You know what I mean? And you're probably your way out. That doesn't mean that you can't be as aggressive and can't be as good as him. That's one thing I love about it. Just you play up. Play it.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see who gets the WR2 reps tonight. Like I said, my money's on Ronnie Bell. At least maybe that's my heart talking more than my head. I think Kyle is likely, knowing Kyle, he's likely to go more with Ray or Chris Conley because they're vets. I mean, also, as much as we like Ronnie Bell and like there's a lot to like from preseason, he obviously people may not be aware, but he led the NFL in yards after catch in the preseason, or yards after contact, YAC. But he also did have a couple of throws that were hit him in the hands that he tipped that got intercepted in the preseason. Mm-hmm. So it's a double-edged sword, and I could see Kyle, wanting to give the rookie more time before any kind of baptism by fire. I don't know if we call the New York Giants defense that, but nonetheless.
Well, if you think about it, if he played so on Bring the Heat podcast, I said the same thing about we should just rest Brandon Ayuk. You know what I mean? I don't think we need him. We got a lot of other things. Just let him get better. And if not, he's got 10 days to rest up. Maybe play him just the first quarter, first half, or something like that. But I like resting him the whole game too, and bringing up a guy like Ronnie Bell and having him take reps. I really appreciate that. Ronnie Bell blocks. You know what the saying is: no block, no rock. And right. I really appreciate that in him. So I think he's next up to figure out who we got on the team. I think he's the Debo. Who knows who Juwan Jennings is going to be once he moves on? I have no idea. But
this is probably his last year as a 49er, though.
Yeah. Oh, now, I wanted to
wait real quick before we get off the Ayuk thing.
Yeah.
Because you said, we should be good enough to beat the Giants without Ayuk, and I agree wholeheartedly. And I saw a tweet from somebody today from Jack Hammer. He tweeted out the talk about the 49ers not needing Brandon Ayuk tomorrow is reminiscent of what we kept hearing about Nick Bosa heading into Atlanta last season. And I was just like, what? I'm like, Ayuk ain't Bosa, who is our only D line. Bosa was our only D lineman in 2022 with more than 5 sacks. He obviously had 18.5. We have Ray and Ronnie Bell to fill in for Brandon Ayuk if needed. I didn't mention Conley because he's on the Nebraska squad, but he would apply there too. So also, Bosa was far from the only player missing at the Falcons last season. I mean, we had like 6 or 7 defenders out. So like Bosa is way more difficult to replace than Brandon Ayuk. As great as Brandon Ayuk is, like we said, we got Debo, we got Kittle, we got CMC, we got Ray, Ronnie Bell. Like, I'm not gonna say we won't miss a beat, but
the Falcons pretty much had their whole offense that they had been training with the whole time. It's not like their star running back was out.
No, they had Tyler Algiers, who had a hell of a rookie season for them last year.
Yeah.
And they were running him like 40 carries a game. And honestly, that Falcons game, we lost by 14. But a huge thing in the Falcons game had nothing to do with our defense anyway. It had to do with Jeff Wilson Jr. with a fumble 6 that pretty much killed us. So
don't get me wrong. It's not like we won't. It's not like we're picking up where we left off. Not like we won't skip a beat over this. It's just that the skip in the beat won't be as much, I'm guessing, as Jack Hammer is trying to put out there.
Bosa is like our best player on defense, and if he's not our best player on the team, he's our second best player on the team. Or if you want to put Trent Williams, and if you want to say Fred is better, I'm not going to be mad if you say Fred Warner is better than Bosa, but I just, I think it's pretty clear Bosa's our best defender.
Who's the second best player on the offense?
Second best. Well, CMC is the best player. I've been very, vocal about that. I kind of realized today that a lot of the people that think I hate Purdy, like, all pro.
So you think CMC is better than Trent Williams?
All pro. What's that?
You think CMC is better than Trent Williams?
Well, okay, Trent Williams number 1.
Okay.
Well, you know what? No, in this team, in this offense, I said CMC is the engine in Kyle's scheme. The scheme that is Kyle's car, something about Kyle's car and this engine in the scheme. Like CMC makes this whole thing go. And I was saying that the people that think I hate Purdy are mistaking love for CMC with hate for Purdy.
Where's CMC? Where is Brandon Ayuk on the list?
He's like 4th or 5th. I've got CMC, Trent, Debo, Kittle or Debo. I don't even know. Flip a coin. And then Ayuk, yeah, he's 5th.
Okay. So Brandon Ayuk being number 5 on the offense versus, and that could change, but I'm sure he's probably, in most people's eyes, he's probably maybe top 5, but probably not top 2. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Bosa is the top guy on our defense, or if you want to say Fred, then he's the second best. So it's not even apples to apples here.
And it's not even the ranking either. It's what we were talking about. It's like, no Ayuk, we got Ronnie Bell, we got Ray, we got Chris Conley, we got a lot of good options. No, Bosa, you got nothing, man. You got nothing to replace that cat.
Cleveland Farrell and Drake Jackson were your starters, and then you're into your depth even more.
Hyder, yeah. And so it's the same thing with Kittle. Where if Kittle goes down, you got nobody to replace him. You got Warner, you got Dwelly, you got Braden Willis, who was great in camp, but come on, I don't think he's barely played in the regular season. So, it's not just how good they are for their offense or defense, it's what you got behind them. What does the next man look like? That's maybe the more important thing, because at least with Fred, you've got Dre. And then you've got a bunch of guys that we really like in like D Winters and Jalen Graham. And there's anyway, bottom line is there's people to play behind Ayuk. They're not Ayuk. It's a pretty good sized drop off, but nothing like Bosa coming off the defense. I just couldn't believe he even tweeted that out, and he got roasted by me and tons of other people. It wasn't I was far from the only one
Oh
giving him
no,
the business.
Trayvon
Yeah, this
Diggs.
was some bad news today.
Oh,
I mean, I hate the Cowboys. They're maybe
right.
my second most hated team after the Seahawks. Maybe the Eagles is in there. They're all my top three though: Seahawks, Eagles, and Cowboys. But I tweeted, I'm like, I never root for injuries, even for one of my most hated teams, the Cowboys. You always want to see the best against the best, and
That's right. I want to
we're
beat you.
definitely not going to see the best of that defense week 5 now.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cardinals Opinion, for coming in and dropping that. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
We got the Shaw Show in the house. Oh, sorry, 187.
What's up?
What up?
Big Purdy fan.
What up, Sean? Anchel.
What's up, Anchel?
Oh, we got Jason Niner Smash Massey in the house. What up, Jason?
Check out his YouTube channel. Absolutely.
Any thoughts on people that say the 49ers are just as close to 6 as they are far away from 5?
I mean, if you're saying it's going to be another 29 years before we win a Super Bowl, I'm not there. I mean, I have said that I don't think we'll win it all this year, and I need to qualify that. Like, I think we easily can win it all if we're healthy. If we're healthy going into the Super Bowl, like there's no team that, from the AFC or in the NFC Championship game that I think we should not be favored against. I think we should be favored against any team in the league. If the team is as healthy as it is right now, I just don't think it will be. And so that's why I say I don't think we'll win it all.
But it might also be like, as far as I don't know, because if you don't think we got a talented roster, because I was gonna say maybe they just don't think it's
He says he was joking.
Yeah. Because no.
He knows how to get our goat. Joe's got a great YouTube channel over there. Check him out. He's a Seahawks fan, but there's like a few cool ones. Him and Seahawks Eddie, and there's a few cool Seahawks fans out there.
Got Randy Daytona.
Randy. You can hate the team and still like their content creators.
Oh yeah. In fact, I do a show with Joe. You can go to his channel right now and check out the show we did last night.
Nice.
Hour long.
Nice. Oh, looks like we lost Ryan for a second.
Oh, I just coughed.
Oh, that's good. Thank you for shielding us.
Yeah.
There are some other good comments in there.
I'm sorry, I'm hella back.
It's fine.
Which one are you looking from who?
Oh, there's a bunch. I mean, don't worry about it. We'll get
them. Just bring them up then. I'm on my phone, so
shoot. I can call them out then as we see them.
Yeah.
Randy says, Kyle does not care for rookies. That was my thing with Ronnie Bell. Like, why I would expect to see more Ray and Chris Conley, just because he doesn't trust rookies. Kyle,
I don't know if that's 100% true. I think it's a case-by-case basis. He trusted Burford enough to be out there as long as he could play at 100%. Right?
Sort of, but he platooned him with Brunskill, so that's
because he couldn't play at 100% anymore. Like, he was winded and gassed, right?
Right.
But he was okay with trusting him. He had to. I'm sorry. I would much rather have Ronnie Bell come in and run routes than me have Burford come and block for most of the game. To me, that'd be a way bigger gamble. The offensive line's a tough job, man. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be on your game every down, or else you're fucked. You know, a receiver, yes, he can cause an interception, but there's a reason why they're out there. You know what I mean? They're not the guys who are causing interceptions for the most time. Obviously, Ronnie Bell in preseason he got two, but I'm sure in camp they were looking for all this stuff, trying to help him. Hey, just don't worry about that. You know, this and that, trying to get a better, get him to think about things. Maybe he was hitting the passing machine. What do they call that?
The jugs
Jug.
machine.
Yeah, hitting the jugs. So yeah, I don't know.
Him and Cam Latu need to do that. Ooh,
Yeah,
Cam
Cam
Latu.
Matthew, oh, poor guy, he's injured, and I hate to see that because I thought he was going to be able to take Charlie Warner's role
He will.
because yeah,
If he can
well,
learn to catch. Yeah, he will.
I think he's almost as strong as him. Maybe
He's a
not there,
he's a
but
filthy route runner. So he gets great separation. Just gotta
yeah,
catch the ball when it's thrown to you. That's the
get
trick.
the ball. You got to block. You're
Yes,
here
and
to block.
he's a very good blocker. Cam
You're
Latu.
here. You're
Blocking,
here.
route running.
Yeah, he's here to take Charlie Warner's spot.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I think Braden Willis is probably here to take Ross Dwelly's, or be used as a fullback. I think that's and you know what? Who knows? Braden Willis might be able to switch out and take over like a Jawan Jennings role.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
More
another
of a
thing I
big
think
slot.
about. Yeah. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Wide
just
receiver 3.
yeah, stay skinny, bro. Just stay skinny. Don't worry about packing on too much weight. Just, try and just condense it. You know what I mean? Like condense it down, because he's got great wiggle too at the top of the route. You know what I mean? Like he's a crafty dude. He can block too. You know what I mean? And I think he's better blocking in space than he is on the line. Like I can't be too for sure of this. I just have seen some plays and it seems like he's pretty good when he's coming in motion and doing that kind of the the George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk type combo blocking roles. You know what I mean? Not like Kittle on the line, pancake and full grown DNs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when he gets in space and they're doing the thing. It seems like he's pretty good at that. So he's got like a two-way split. You know what I mean? He can go two ways right here.
Yeah, no doubt. Randy had a funny comment about 3 from the bottom. Says Kyle was probably a red shirt as a rookie, so now everyone has to be. I don't think Kyle ever played in the NFL though, so
Oh,
but it was
Kyle
funny.
played in college. So
Yeah, and a couple below, he says Kyle will redshirt all 12 picks next year. LOL. 2 below that. I like that. That was funny. Hopefully not, because I think we're picking a right tackle next year, and I would like to see that tackle play as a rookie, but maybe it'll be a 2-year plan for that person too. But I think that's what our not number one overall, what our first round pick for 2024 will be used for.
we need a couple linemen, a couple offensive tackles.
Yeah, because we got Trent Williams could be gone next year, or
I'm not. Oh my God, if I got to see Jalen Moore on this team next year, whether we win the Super Bowl or not, I will be screaming, "Fire Kyle!" Because if that's his fucking plan, holy Jesus.
Yeah, that's not good.
You know what I mean? Like,
Not
oh
good.
God. He could definitely help us get a couple of first overall picks. I'm just saying, just by having us suck competitive consistently for multiple years, we could definitely, yeah. Imagine that. You could be Jalen Moore. You could be the reason why the 49ers pick first overall for multiple years.
Let's not go too extreme, man. Let's not go too extreme. Joe Stevens saying Trent Williams is actually younger than I thought. I mean, unless you thought he was like Whitworth. Andrew Whitworth played till he was 40, but he's 34, right? I think 34, about to be 35, somewhere around there. We got Tony from the Locker Room Rant in the house. He says, yes, fire Kyle. He's down, but he's also not a 49ers fan, folks. So keep that in mind. That's VT 2022. He is on with Vornis on the Locker Room Rant. That's Tony. Welcome, Tony.
Gotcha. John V is definitely a homie. If you don't know, you guys should go check out that Locker Room Rant. That is a very good show.
Great show. Great people.
Great people. Great show. Check them out.
We got so many good creators in our audience, man. We're blessed. This is awesome.
Thanks, our community is blessed with a lot of good people. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
And the people that watch, I'm saying those some of the best too. You know what I mean? Because to support some of us guys while the big shows are on, we really appreciate it.
Randy says he doesn't worry about the O-line like most people do. Most O-lines are terrible. That's true. That's true. I mean, we've been pretty lucky, at least last year. I think we were in that like 5 to 10 range, which is pretty good. It's just tough when you come up against the Eagles and they have the best. It's hard not to get a little bit of big nasty envy. Pause.
We're 2 offensive line injuries away from being a shit show,
or 1 even, maybe. Yeah, and we don't have much depth. I think Matt Pryor could fill in for McKivitz okay, not in the run game so much.
I'm talking about
he's at least a good pass blocker.
Trent Williams and Brendel, because then you got somebody who knows who you put at center. It'll probably be one of the guys you brought in this year. And if you remember correctly, even Brendel had issues, even though he's been on this team for a while, at figuring out the calls. Same thing's going to happen to the next center that comes in, where it's going to be growing pains. So you get an injury there, and Trent Williams is out, and you've got Jalen Moore somewhere, and who knows at center. There's going to be an issue. You know, it's not going to be good. That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody's like, yeah. And I'm just like, we've got gaping holes here. The gaping holes. There's the drop off is just, and we're getting rid of guys who've got an upside, who've got a bigger upside. They might not do everything perfectly, but guess what? They get their hands on somebody and they move them. You know what I mean? Getting to the perfect spot and doing everything perfect, that will come in time. Get people at least know how to move people.
It's easier said than done with big old, space eater defensive tackles in the NFL. Randy says there's one good Rams guy. I watch him. I can't watch dozens of Niner guys all saying the same thing. Fair enough. Maybe you're talking about Zach Payo Time is a real good Rams creator. He was on my show last week to do a preview for the game. He was great. Silly Fungi with the obligatory dad joke. Why do cows wear bells? Their horns don't work. Dad jokes, folks. They're often not funny, but usually very punny.
So have you ever been to the Redwoods?
And wait, real quick, Silly. I don't know if you've heard, but I was already a dad, but a dad again this week. My second son was born on Monday, so dad jokes definitely getting a little extra run this week. Even though I always like to call yours out, this week is a special one for me.
So, have you ever been to the giant redwoods?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been to them. Well, there's several different places where you can go. There's a place in the Santa Cruz Mountains called Roaring Camp, where there's a narrow gauge railroad that goes up a steep hill. And there's all these like cathedral walls, which is like rings of redwoods that come out around a single redwood, and they make these like circles. I've also been to Northern California, the Redwood Highway.
That's the coastals. We're talking about
and Willits, a little north of Willits near Garberville.
Those are the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are.
I have a big one in my backyard, actually. Giant redwood in my backyard. It's probably the trunk is probably 12 feet in diameter.
So I got a tour from a guy at the giant redwoods, and he did a big, huge joke. Well, it was a story that had a whole bunch of puns and jokes in it. And at the end, the mom wouldn't let her go out with this guy, and she says, "But mom, he's a real fun guy," because it was all had to do with like fungus and all the stuff in the forest. So yeah,
Right.
this really elaborate. Turns out this guy had been struck by lightning 11 times when I had talked to him.
Whoa.
And I'm sitting and on break on my lunch in, I think, Walmart, right? And I look at the newspaper and it says, "Man dies after getting struck by lightning 13 times." And I look and the picture was of him.
Of course.
So
He probably should have eaten less iron.
every time I see fungi, I think of him. You know what I mean?
There
Because
you go.
he was a blast. He's struck by lightning so many times, and he's like, "I'm not quitting this job. I love this job."
Well,
Bro,
that's my go-to dad joke. As a mushroom walks into a bar, the bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve mushrooms." He says, "Come on, I'm a fun guy."
yeah.
And then
But he's
James
a really
Turnbull had
fun
one too.
guy.
What kind of bees make milk? Boobies. That's a good one for
Oh,
me too, because obviously my wife has just got her milk to come in for the new arrival. So good timing. So Randy says it's Jake Ellenbogen that he watches, 20K followers. That's good size. Jake's a little
oh,
bit anti-Niners though, Randy. So don't let him turn you against us.
Jake's a little bit of an asshole.
That's
But like,
another way to put it. But he is
he,
knowledgeable. He is entertaining.
I'm not saying he's not knowledgeable, but he talks a lot of shit. And when you try to rub his nose in it, he just tries to like pretend he didn't say anything or just pivots. You know what I mean? Pivot, pivot, pivot. And that, no. Look, if I'm wrong, call me on it. Because I'll be
Yeah.
like, right, you're
Yeah.
right.
I never want to spread bad information, Ryan. The
Right,
last thing I ever want to do.
right. Or mislead somebody if I'm wrong about like, if let's say about like the Bosa contract, I could tell you where I was wrong. It's a Bosa contract. It was taking forever. I was like, he just doesn't want to come to camp. Right? There's everything. They're all ready to go. They got the number. Then I was totally wrong there. Totally wrong. Totally
A
wrong.
lot of us were.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of us were. Yeah, you know, you're wrong. No one's perfect. Admit it. Move on and try not to repeat the
sorry.
same mistakes again. That's all you can do. We're all human.
I thought
So
I
they say
muted.
congratulations. I hope you find a way to sleep. And you know, luckily, you know, my wife's still in the hospital, so you know, it's really helpful to have the nurses. I'll be back there again tonight, and then she's scheduled to come home tomorrow. So yeah, lack of sleep will be pronounced this weekend. Um, First weekend back home. It's really nice just to be able to push a button and have a nurse come and help out. But anyway, yeah. I'll also just want to call out Nancy Cameron in the audience. She's saying, "What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining, Nancy.
What up, Nancy?
Good to see you." She was cross with me because I did the shows yesterday and she didn't know about it, and so
Oh,
appreciate you being here.
he had to pull up gorilla style.
No, I put it. I don't think she's on Twitter. I think that's why. If you're on Twitter, you see the announcements, Nance. Ted H6 on Twitter, but Twitter is a very toxic place. You may not want to see what people say to me and what I say back to them. It can get a little toxic, a little bit. I wouldn't say vulgar, but definitely combative. There's a lot of people trying to tear me down, and that's fine. Do your worst.
Try to tear you down.
Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I'll always rise above.
Yeah. So let's
Yes,
talk about tonight's game.
yes. So
What
we
you got?
got some key people are out tonight. Saquon Barkley out. One of the best dual threat running backs in the game. Probably the Giants' best player. If I'm picking the best Giants' best player, I'm picking Saquon Barkley. Also, Azeez Ojulari is out, who is a very good defensive end. And then Thomas, is it Dave Thomas? That's the Wendy's guy. Logan Thomas, their left tackle is out, plus a second O lineman is out. So they have their star left tackle who they picked top 10. The same year we picked Kinlaw. He went a little before Wirfs, if I recall correctly. It's like in that 5 to 8 range. And then another lineman, so it's 2 O linemen and a real good D end in Saquon Barkley. They still have Daniel Jones. They still have Darren Waller, who definitely tore us up when he was on the Raiders last year. When the Raiders scored like 34 points against us, Darren Waller did a lot of damage. But you got to remember, the Raiders had Devontae Adams. The Raiders had Josh Jacobs, who won the rushing crown last year. The Raiders running back Josh Jacobs ran for more yards than any other running back in the NFL in 2022. And they had Renfro too, and they got, I don't see this Giants offense as being. Now, the one thing that worries me is Daniel Jones, because he's mobile, or I would say even he's a running quarterback. He had 700 running yards last year, which is some of the highest you'll see from NFL quarterbacks, 700. So, and he's streaky. He can get good for periods of time. So let's just hope he doesn't get streaky against us. But I don't see any reason why we shouldn't win this game. I mean, by quite a bit. I was thinking like 33-17 was the number I've been throwing around a little bit this week. And speaking of which, I need to go do my prediction right now. So pardon me while I do that real quick. I'm going to just go underneath my article. I always put it in there. But I think I'm going to say, you know what? I said 27-17 last week. I think I'm going to say that again this week. I'm going to go with 49ers 27, Giants 17. You heard it here first before the mean streets.
Hello?
Timeline. Yeah, I hear you. Can you not hear me? Maybe I'll wait to do the prediction until you get squared away here, because I don't want to be a lot of dead space. Ryan was having issues with his computer earlier, so he logged on from his phone. Looks like he's trying to go back to the computer. I hear you. You're good. Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good. Sorry about that.
There you go.
It seemed like we're getting better connection, so I was like, hey, let's move it back.
Yeah, you sound better on your mic for sure. I mean, the phone wasn't bad, but the mic is smooth, silky.
Yeah. Silky smooth.
Silky
Sorry.
smooth. Yeah, when we started, I was wondering why your mic was so far away, and then I realized you said you were on your phone. So when you were going through the chats, so let's see.
Yeah, it's not as fun to do that on the chat on the phone or on your phone.
No, God, I can't even imagine. I have trouble doing it on my laptop screen, phone screen. Man, even I would have trouble. I'd be squinting the whole time.
Oh, it's fun. It's definitely fun.
So then for the Giants, another notable player that I mentioned in my article was Dexter Lawrence, their defensive tackle. There was an article that came, not an article, it was a ranking today for defensive tackles in the NFL, top 10. And let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. Here it is. So they had Aaron Donald 1, Chris Jones 2, no surprises there. Quinnen Williams 3, not really surprised for the Jets there. Javon Hargrave number 4. I was a little surprised to see him that high. I mean, I think he's easily top 4 pass rushing DT. I just don't know that he's good enough against the run to justify number 4 overall. But then Jeffrey Simmons of the Titans number 5. He's a stud. Dexter Lawrence 6. Cameron Hayward 7. So that's so Dexter Lawrence notable because we're playing him tonight. Cam Hayward notable because he's a Steeler. We played him week 1, but he got injured in the first quarter. And I kept telling people, like, this Steelers D we saw is not their D, without Cam Hayward. He's one of the best defensive tackles in the league. And then 8 was Christian Wilkins, 9 of the Dolphins, 9 Jonathan Allen of the Commanders, and 10 was Vita Vea of the Bucks. I'm actually kind of surprised to see Vita Vea that low. I kind of think of him as more of a top 5 defensive tackle, but maybe he's fallen off a little bit.
Well, he's a run destroyer.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's not much.
Space Eater. Like
There's
you're
not much
like
money.
a Vince Wilfork type, right? Just
There's not much money put on the run game anymore.
that's
So
true.
maybe because of offenses, his qualities aren't, as needed as much, and so that he's not that high up in the polls.
Yeah. But
But
it's crazy. It's crazy that just while we're talking about, the Bucks, they're 2-0, the Saints are 2-0, and the Falcons are 2-0. Who had that on their bingo card for week 2 that there'd be 3 AFC or NFC South teams at 2-0? I sure didn't. I thought the Saints would be. I just didn't think the Falcons or Bucks would be. That's for sure.
I didn't think the Bucks would be, but
I thought the Falcons came up a lot in the offseason. I just didn't trust their is it Desmond Ridder, their quarterback? I just didn't think that maybe, he was ready to shoulder the load, but maybe he is. Or maybe they're just using the running. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little ignorant on the Falcons other than their record. I haven't watched any of their games yet or really dived in too deeply into what they're up to.
Me neither, but they've always been good with the run, so I'm sure they're sticking with it. And that's the best thing to do with a unproven quarterback is to lean hard on the run and just have them make manageable third downs.
There you go. So yeah. So anyway, it was interesting just to see those defensive tackles. So yeah, Dexter Lawrence, number 6 on that list. I think he could be higher on that list too. So that's one of my Giants to keep an eye on tonight. Hopefully he doesn't wreck shop, like with Burford, with Brendel, or even Aaron Banks. I like Aaron Banks a lot, but he's kind of a tough assignment.
Oh, hold on.
So James Renault says Saleh plays with passion, great to see, but I'd rather have Wilkes in the booth, probably probing for weaknesses in analytics. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like we didn't adjust till halftime. Maybe if Wilkes was on the sideline, we might have adjusted a little bit more quickly to the Rams. Who knows? I'm glad that we made the adjustments. Maybe the adjustments wouldn't have been as good, but certainly it was like the Rams, we just couldn't stop them. I mean, I don't know about you, Ryan, but how are you feeling? I mean, I'll tell you how I was feeling. I was nervous as hell when it was 10-17 and there was 1 second left in the half and we had 4th and goal from the 1. I was nervous that we might go in 7 points down with the Rams coming out to get the ball in the second half with a 7-point lead, and we hadn't proved we could stop them. I saw some people in some DM groups saying, oh, this game's over. And I was like, I didn't say that. I just said not good, because I felt like we could turn it around, but I was starting to get nervous for sure. Got Rudy in the house, Vermilia Sports Report. Welcome, Rudy. If that's the
No, we
Rudy.
don't. No, it's a fake one.
Him.
That's why I said that's the fake Rudy.
Okay, Randy can tell us.
That's why
Randy
I wasn't going to mention it.
Sad Rams. That's fine. I don't care if it's real or fake. I like to have the audience. He's usually not real disrespectful, so I'm like, whatever. Come have your fun. It's not going to bother me, other than the VCR thing. But whatever. It's been so long since we won Super Bowl, Ramilia. How come you guys haven't caught up? Shit, you're not even halfway there. And even if you were
talking to the fake person,
were you even a St. Louis Rams fan? I think you probably only got one in LA.
Why are we talking to a fake account?
Oh, just because it's banter.
You're just doing what the bot wants. You know what I mean?
All right.
I ain't trying to play that game. I ain't jumping hoops for other people. But yeah, I got 6 minutes till we got to go, till I got to get out of here.
Yeah, I got to get out of here pretty soon.
Show coming up.
I got to bounce to my parents' house, and it's about a half hour away. I definitely don't want to miss kickoff.
So I just want to say the only thing I want to see from the Niners tonight is to see that Danny Dimes isn't running for first downs on 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Please.
Got to spy him. Got to spy him. And that could open up Waller over the middle.
Well, if you do it correctly with the right personnel, you don't have to do it with a linebacker.
I just don't know if Huff is fast enough.
You don't have to do it. You can do it with a lineman.
Do you think so? I don't think linemen are fast enough to spy a running QB.
Look at Drake
Well,
Drake Jackson.
Beal's fast enough, but he doesn't play.
No, look at Drake Jackson.
Drake the Snake.
Yeah, how many times did he get a sack? He could do it.
Yeah, 3 in week 1. Yeah, but it's different when you sack somebody than when you're trying to chase them down the open field, especially from behind. Once he gets by you, you're never going to catch him again. So.
That's why you do it on the
turf monster gets him. Remember when?
That's why you do it on the defensive line. If you do it on the defensive line, he has to get past you. It's not like you have to come up as like a linebacker or anybody else. He's already there. You're in his area.
I've just never heard of a D lineman as a spy. That's just.
Oh, Siri, here we go. We got the other fake account in here.
Let them have their, or don't do it. It's your channel. You can do whatever you want. So.
Well, it's ours. I'm just not. You can talk to them all you want, but we're just wasting time. That we could be talking about 49ers to some fake Rams.
Yeah, we are short on time today. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Danny Dimes is a concern, and like I said, in Danny Dimes, if we spy him, then Waller's a concern, but none of them are big enough. I just, Breida, I don't fear Matt Breida, folks. I don't. He could rip off a big run here and there, but he's not good at scoring touchdowns. He is good at getting injured. I'd never wish injuries on anyone, but I'm not going to ignore them. I don't know. Maybe they have some young guy we don't know about. That happens a lot in the NFL, right? I mean, running backs are easy to come by. So, I mean, can't rule that out. But, I mean, I think I'd be shocked if we didn't win by at least 7, and I'm calling it 10, 27-17. So not cover. I think the last line was back up to 10.5. But let's see. That might have gone down since the Ayuk news. So let's see if the betting has slowed down. I'll look that up while you run with things for a second there. So 10.5 is the current line. So I'm actually predicting that we don't cover. Just like we didn't cover against the Rams because of that stupid field goal at the end.
I said 30-20. But I can see 30-17.
27-17, 30-20. That's about as close as you get.
Yeah. So, because I'm expecting us to give up them third down. And
I mean, I would love it if we scored 30 again to keep it every game this season, 30 points exactly. That'd be pretty cool. 3 games in a row of 30 exactly. I just think Ayuk being out, we have good options to replace him, but it is a little bit of a step down. I think everyone else is going to have a little bit tougher time without Ayuk. And the Giants do have some good defenders. They have a good safety. And
Randy says, I love beer. I'm not scared.
There you go.
But with that, what else do you got going on the rest of the week? I'm guessing not much when baby gets home.
Balling with Bash and Ted tomorrow at 3, the usual. And then Monday, I've got Pedro Burge from Niners DNA, the Aussie channel. So Bash at 3, 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and then Pedro at 3, 6 p.m. Eastern on Monday. And then you and I will be back on Tuesday at 3:30 doing No BS Ted.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys.
Sorry, I hope it's okay that I promoted us on our show.
You're good. Yeah. So I should be going on. I don't know if I'll be on Corey's channel or I'm trying to figure out. Corey doesn't know how to do this thing, so I'm trying to figure out with him.
Then he should be on your channel if he can't figure it. No, I guess you gotta go back and forth. That's the only thing to do.
Well, if we could just
but I mean, come on, it's not rocket science.
It's not hard. So
but
figure it out.
But I will admit, like, Bash calls me technical Ted. Laura Cat came up with that, and they meant it because of my technical analysis. But like, nothing could be further from the truth with real technology stuff. Like, I am bad at it, so I can't be too hard on Corey when, like, most of the times I have to be shown how to do something. But tell him to look up a YouTube video on it. Hey, guess what? YouTube, there's great stuff on there besides sports talk. My son, we found some great Planet shows, Storybots. They do Planet songs, super educational. we learned a lot about octopus on there. So then I got him an octopus for a baby brother to give to him. So like it's sort of like, to ease him in, to kind of bribe him a little bit, if you will. That went over really well. But anyway, I know you got to go. So do I. Should we just? What else you got going on? So you got Corey now, and what else you got? Anything else this week? Obviously you got your normal Friday night NFL variety show.
Yep, Friday night show. Got the NFL bets on Saturday. Subscribe, check us out. All right.
Peace.
After that, we out.
Go Niners.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, if we're still live, I'm gonna duck out too here, and hopefully Ryan can end the show. Hopefully that will end the show.